I'm not going to go through her whole bio because I know that she's got a couple of slides to explain better who she is. But I'll tell you this, that for years, I have wanted to listen to a top-notch recruiter, sourcer, person that is out there looking for people to fill sourcing needs and other things in order to understand how they do things. And so I'm really excited to listen to Irina's talk and see how she approaches the world of OSINT, people searching, target identification using the tools of a recruiter and sourcer. So Irina, please go ahead and take it away.
So thank you for having me here. On my part, working in sourcing and recruiting and having some technical background, we have long been interested in OSINT, and I'm glad that we're overlapping and meeting each other at conference, and I hope this will continue because we can help each other so much, and it's such an interesting area. You can find me on LinkedIn. Some people read my blog. These slides are under bit.ly link. I also put it in Slack. You can get them and follow not only the presentation, you'll be able to click on the links. Few words about me. I used to be in software engineering, education and math. Then I moved to recruiting and naturally navigated to the sourcing part, where we research companies and then start to try to find candidates that are very qualified but don't go and apply to jobs. So sourcing is where we work, and our methods overlap quite a bit. So Brain Gain Recruiting is the company where we do recruiting and sourcing. Sometimes we just generate lists of people to reach out to. Social List is a little software tool that we created that helps find people with professional qualities, and Boolean Strings is my blog. So the areas where we work are first and foremost LinkedIn, because it's packed with professional information, and my sense is that LinkedIn is underused by OSINT people, investigating people, and so forth, and Google, advanced Google. So this is a slide that you will have in the presentation if you have any questions about complex expressions. I'm sure many of you use Google Advanced Operators that are listed here, and where they are in my slides, I'll mention what they are. Now, the rest of my talk is hacks. Each hack presents you with extended capability to do something, to find something faster, new things, so forth. So here is my hack number one. Did you know that Google can search for emojis? How can we apply it? We often, both OSINT people, sourcers, many, we want to find the contact information. Now, some people have posted it. Some people have posted it with appropriate emojis. Turns out you can search for those emojis and boom, you can like build directories with this. And I know my talk is fast and there are no questions, but please remember all your questions and comments, and I'll be really happy to chat with Slack. Now on Twitter, you can also search for emoji, same story. You can be searching for emoji for contact information. On LinkedIn, if you put a symbol like a phone, LinkedIn has no clue and will not search for it. However, on LinkedIn, when you are, sorry, with the slides, need to get used to it. Emoji on LinkedIn. So if you search for any emoji, your favorite emoji, what LinkedIn will do, it will just find everybody, whether they have that emoji on the profile or not. And it is also a hack. It's useful because LinkedIn wants you to enter some keywords before it starts showing you all of it. Otherwise, it will show you only your first and second connection. So I search for a smiley face.
Trying to test your mic?
Huh?
Go ahead.
What? Yes, seem to be working, right?
Yep, you sound great.
Good. So I search for sort of virtual keyword that doesn't restrict anything. And then I can do some research. I can name countries, companies, and so forth, and can see everybody on LinkedIn. And it shows now 800 million, which is a complete joke, of course, in terms of relating to real people, but that's a separate story. Next hack. Many of you search on Google, and sometimes we have to search for a lot. Google has a limit of 32 keywords, pretty reasonable.
In just a moment.
Yeah.
Just a moment.
What?
Irina, you are hearing us from 5 minutes ago or so. Can you turn your speaker off? And that way you won't get distracted. I'd like to thank Heather Honey for the inspiration for my Slack avatar. Appreciate the screenshot.
Excuse me, can I
want to thank all of our presenters so far. The conversations in Slack that I've seen are just amazing. You all, Irina, the things that you're hearing on your speaker are things that we've said in the past. You might be having some lag issues.
What are you saying? Hold on.
Right now, yes. It's 1:30. Or maybe you're listening to it on a separate computer.
No.
I'm going to go ahead and take the stage now. Maybe just turn your volume down.
Here we go. Sorry about that, guys.
Excellent.
I didn't realize what was going on. So Google has a limit of 32 keywords. When I search in Google, it's usually way more. But there are certain cases, because Google knows about synonyms, you don't have to spell it out. But there are cases where I want to push in a lot of synonyms. For example, a list of schools, list of companies, list of locations, you name it. So Google doesn't let me do that, but I have figured out how to do that with custom search engines. Custom search engines, for those who don't know, it's a layer on top of Google. I'll say a few words momentarily, but basically they overcome that. And here is a screenshot showing you that Google means what they say, 32 words. So where's the, oh, here, sorry. Okay, so programmable custom search engines is a beautiful thing. They've been around for a long time. Kind of went through two phases. First, they offered to build this custom stuff on top of Google where the end user doesn't have to enter stuff. And then there was a second period where custom search engine have become a forefront of Google's semantic search that I'll mention. So you can just go and create a custom search engine. It will ask you which site you want to search, and then there are parameters to add. Now, in custom search engines, there are synonyms, and you can customize search and say these 5, 10, any number of words are synonyms. But you can also name synonyms words that are not synonyms because it's just a software, right? So it's like Humpty Dumpty. Defining synonyms. The control panel allows you to define variables and a list of 10 synonyms for them. So I've defined variables F1, F2, and so forth, and defined them as Fortune 100 companies. So searching for, making synonyms for a developer, programmer, so forth doesn't make sense because Google does it. But here I'm creating synonyms for Fortune 100 companies. If you want to get your feet wet here, you can create an XML file, define synonyms, the ones you want, and upload it. Don't have the time to teach you that. Please connect with me. I'd be happy to explain how it works. The resulting search is this, Fortune 100 companies. Now, invisibly to any of our search, there is an appended OR of all of these companies. So I search just for the word layoffs, and the results show layoffs at many of these companies. And typically, we won't be seeing pages listing all of them. Typically, it goes to just one of them. That's how the operator OR works. Another one is women's names on LinkedIn. This one has a lot of synonyms that are women's names. As you might be aware, we are trying to make our workspace more diverse, and quite often we are making sure that we reach out to diverse candidates. So I search for competitive intelligence, you see the results, they're women. So this is some stuff, this is long OR strings, this or that, or that, or that, pushed into the custom search engine because Google cannot deal with them. Next hack, and please remember your questions. Find documented images. I know everybody searches in Google, but do you ever search for documentation images? There is tons of it. Why? Because some sites put an image of the document on top of the document itself, and if it's public, it can be found in images. And this is SiteGov, strictly confidential, for internal use only, not for distribution. Gosh, there is like treasures there that you can uncover. Of course, you'll be using your own keywords, but going to search for documents and images absolutely makes sense. For us, it would be searching for contact lists and CVs and resumes. Facebook photo discovery. So Facebook, when somebody posts a picture, Facebook makes a note of it and puts some interpretation text. The typical is image may contain and text that says. It's not visible on the page, but it is in the HTML code of the public page. Therefore, from Google, we can search those photographs based on their descriptions that are not visible on Facebook. They're internal, but Googlebot picks them up. So here is a string, site facebook.com, operator site, makes sure that we all go only to Facebook. Nothing else is here. Phrase, image may contain 47 people. And here in the images, I selected photo to see only photos. And if you do something like that and sit down to count the people, it's very precise, okay? Find people and events. So here I'm looking for photographs. I'm sorry, just scrolling doesn't work very well. I'm looking for photographs. Image may contain one person, expert speaker, cybersecurity. So here's your investigation who could speak. And of course, it's applicable in many other ways. The next is image may contain weapons. So you could be searching for things, whatever you're searching, in those images. Okay. Now, if you wanted, if you click on any of these images, just X-raying Facebook, you will get on a page where there are lots of images, and that image is lost somewhere. If you want to get straight to the image, straight to one page where this image is hosted, use just this after Facebook, because that's where the images are hosted. Okay, so the number one reason to source in images, to search in images. I am about to say that if you're going to Google and search in Google for something, you very well may switch to the image tab and search there as well, because you will be getting A, different results, B, more results, and the results will not overlap a whole lot with your results in the main Google. So suppose I search for something, I first look on Google and then I look in the images. On Google, I will be getting 300-400 results max. On images, I might be getting up to 1,000, and they overlap very little. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is a way to get much more information out of Google. So why does this happen? Images form a separate database. There is an index with pages there is an index with images, there is an index with news articles and so forth. Normally, they overlap, but an image wouldn't show up on the main page. It's not a page, it's an image. So it's a different databases. And let me show you how it shows in practice. So these strings here, I'm searching on site, linkedin.com/in. In is here to target profiles because they're under in. I hope it's clear. And then I've added some terms. So the first search is on google.com. It gives me 350 profiles. The second search is on images. I may have narrowed it to faces. I have added image only operator, image size that shows profiles because profile pictures because they're that size. And here's the statistics. We got over 1,000 profiles and the majority of them come from images. If you're curious, the same stands true for Bing. So if you go both places, you can collect a zillion results for your searches. Now, when I searched on Google and when I searched on images, I need some ways to grab that information. In general, scraping information from searches and then digesting it in Excel or any system that allows you to filter and sort is the best approach because you're narrowing down into steps. So here I can do search, and then there are tons of Google Chrome extensions. One of them is Instant Data Scraper, and it scrapes just out of the box. You can sometimes have to tell it where the next button is, but then it will generate an Excel table for you to deal with it. Okay, and the Excel table will look something like that, where it will grab the information automatically about people and their links. Okay, next thing. We already heard, by the way, the talk about the phone number and finding information about that was pretty close to what we do. So here we start, and all of OSINT loves that, start with somebody with an image, could be somebody's face, we find that that person elsewhere. But the images we work this way could not only be pictures of people, they could be logos of organizations, school associations they are related to. Okay, so in image search, we can be searching for an image, and we can be, on the other hand, we can be searching as we used to with keywords, and we can be using operators. For example, if you go to image search and search on site linkedin.com/in, I will be getting pictures from there. Turns out that you can combine reverse image search with any search that you could type with the operators. So here's an example. Site linkedin.com/in architect finds people who are architects. I'm combining it with the reverse search for a logo of a company. The result of that are people who work at this company or used to work. Same story with schools. I use a logo of the school and some keywords find people who went to the school. And an interesting application is here on the site Zing. Men and women have different standard images if they don't upload their photo. So I can find all the women who have not uploaded their photo using the same trick. I hope you like that. It's kind of fun. Number 7 is a hack that also goes to words that we cannot see on the page. This image 4 is sitting somewhere within HTML of LinkedIn public profile, but it can be searched for. So if we search site for, image for, and then something, we will be finding interesting stuff. And that is done just from Google. So we can be searching for company, school, association, group, posts, shares, and likes. All of the content as well, because it's accompanied by images. So here's an example search for you. I said image for CIA. I assure you that the majority of these people work at CIA. That's how they were found. Okay, certification, same story. You can say image for, the name of certification, a variety of certification that can be found this way, done. What also makes it to the public profile is activity shares. So you can be searching for whatever person shared, activity called working from home, activity called looking for a job, stuff like that. And obviously, LinkedIn itself wouldn't let you extract information so beautifully. Okay, so certifications, activity. What's next? Okay, LinkedIn profiles in incognito are this. So if you start looking at LinkedIn profiles without logging in, after the first or second, LinkedIn will stop allowing you to do that, to go there. And quite often we want to look at public profiles for various reasons. We want the person to know that we visited the profile. We want to see different information that is on the public profile. We want to invent how we're going to search for profiles like this, so forth. Google mobile friendly test easily generates what we need to see. So that's that. I also suspect that if you go and do inspect and switch the agent to some mobile in Chrome on desktop, that will be good as well. So this book on custom search engines that I touched very lightly, but there is a piece that I left in the slides that you will have access to that will give you some flavor. Custom search engines are a very interesting thing. And here are my slides. And I will meet you in Slack. Here is my contact. I'd really like to communicate with everyone. Maybe I can help you somehow. I'll learn from you. And I want our communities to be closer and do a lot of sharing. You can find me on Twitter, on LinkedIn, blog. Brain gain recruiting is sourcing, and we also teach. I guess my time comes to the end.